the protocol it was taken custom. Somehow I chose the RDP, but maybe that has changed during the save time. Something had happened in the NAT rules. That is why I got stuck there. Okay, so audience, previously you
So,
were
which which protocol used you?
I used RDP in the service. I used RDP. That time I was chosen
Okay.
RDP, but somehow it has been goes to custom like this. So when I open the NAT rules for editing, I find that RDP was not showing here. So again I chose it and I change it and save it. That's all. So in the
Okay, got it.
service you have to choose the yeah. So now it is accessing. So this is the load balancer that you can use. So here now onwards, instead of using the direct access of your virtual machine, you can use load balancer to access it. Okay.
Sujay, SSL
Yes.
uploading functionality is there in this load balancer.
No, no, that is you have to do it the application gateway. You
Okay,
have to do it in
okay.
application gateway because SSL session layer is not running with this load balancer. It is just a layer 4 load balancer to up to TCP and UDP related traffic you can manage.
Okay.
You just mention the port number 443, backend pool is 480 or something, but that SSL offloading process and all those things is not really handled through this load balancer. To do this, you have to go to the application gateway that I'm going to start actually discussing. Azure Application Gateway. What is this, audience? Now, Application Gateway, this is a layer 7 load balancer. So as a Subramania asked me that what is the difference between app gateway and the VPN gateway. So Subramania, VPN gateway just give you the connectivity link, connectivity tunnel from your on-prem or from another virtual network to another virtual network. That is the thing. Means a gateway connectivity you are getting. But application gateway, the name they have providing gateway, but it does so many things. It will do the load balancing, it will do the content redirection, it will do the path-based routing, URL-based routing, SSL offloading, anything, anything related with the application and based on the services. Okay, all things you can do with the application gateway. So in a very simple way, application gateway is a same like content switching load balancer, same like application load balancer. You can say a normal load balancer. Okay. So all those things you can get it under one particular service. That is the application gateway. So what is application gateway that we will discuss? Application gateway routing we will discuss and the gateway configuration. So application gateway can Okay, before we discuss the process of application gateway, obviously it has also the front end and back end option. Front end is always the public interface and back end is always the internal interface. But how does it work actually? Let me open my Paint. If this is my application gateway, app gateway, let's say app gateway 1. In front end, there is a VIP. VIP is always pointing to the public IP address. Okay, so that is a VIP, and VIP will be terminated at the listener. The listener, we can assume it is a virtual server, but the listener actually combination of the IP address, protocol, and the service you are using. Sorry, port number, protocol, port number, and IP address. The combination is called listener. So IP address is your WAP actually. Okay. So you can say this is a listener. So listener is the hitting point of the client. After getting the request from the client, listener will find out the routing rules. What routing rules you have defined. Now, based on the routing rules, the backend pool will be used. So maybe you have multiple backend pool. Let's say your backend pool is one for uh, Contoso, typical name of Microsoft, contoso.com. That is one site you have added. You have added another site like for adatum.com. So this kind of multiple site you can add with your application gateway. And based on the routing rule you are defining and based on the request it is receiving, the request will redirecting to the proper sites. Okay. So listener is the responsible person who is calculating the rules, and when requests arrive to it, it is matching the rules and forward the traffic to the particular destination. So if you have added multiple sites, we can add multiple sites, and based on that you can add different type of rules. Or else you can add a single site like adatum.com or contoso.com or whatever, and you can mention the URL based traffic rules. Like if you say that okay, if I try to search /image, okay, probably my request will go to the VM1 because maybe this VM will provide the image solutions. But if I say /video like this, okay, or something else, slash uh, index like that, maybe it is going to the file server VM2 like that. So these are the thing you can do. Or else you can add multiple sites and you can add multiple site based rules. So these are the complex situation you can configure in the application gateway. And you asked me about the SSL offloading, HTTP to HTTPS or HTTPS to HTTP redirection. That is also you can configure in the listener. We can upload the certificate to the listener for secure configuration. So that is the SSL offloading you can say. You don't need to put a certificate to your backend servers. Okay, your front end means your listener and the request or the client who is sitting outside. So when they are communicating, they are using HTTPS, but the request when the request is reaching to the backend pool, there is no HTTPS communication. So this way also you can configure. So anything required means anything based on the application delivery, okay, which is required to do that you can configure in the application gateway. So application gateway can perform content switching, can perform redirection based on the content, can perform SSL uploading, can perform load balancer techniques, everything it can do using one service. Okay, so let me go to the slide. So there is a listener which can apply the rules that you have defined there. And once it is applied the rules, the backend pool will be selected and your request will be redirecting to the backend pool. Okay, you can add your on-premises server also as a backend pool to your application gateway. Application routing, you can go for the path-based routing. You can go for the multi-site routing. Multi-site routing means as I used contoso.com, it is using fabricom.com. So any request coming for contoso.com, automatically contoso pool will be selected. Any request coming for adatum.com, adatum will be selected, something like that. Or you can, as I also mentioned, path-based routing /image /video and something else. Uh, Based on that, you can redirect the traffic. So listener has a port number. See, who has asked me? I didn't see the name. Uh, Probably Nitin or someone else has asked me about the SSL offloading. So you can define the SSL offloading here in the application gateway. You just upload your certificate here in the front end port, and from there the SSL offloading uh, process will be applied. So front end pool you have as an IP address, and front end IP address will be terminating at the listener. So listener is a combination of IP address, port number, and protocol. And listener is also responsible for finding out the rules you have defined, and based on the rules, traffic will be redirecting or backend pool will be selecting. Choice is yours what type of rules you are defining, and backend pool will be accessed according to the rules. Azure Traffic Manager. So before we go for the Azure Traffic Manager, let me go to the portal and configure the application gateway. All the topics are very big in this module. Even every modules, whatever modules we are going to discuss today and tomorrow, all modules are very big, audience. So please have your patience.
Sujit, is
Yes.
there any throughput limit? What is the maximum throughput limit for application gateway and Azure load balancer?
Azure load balancer, there is no specific throughput available, but application gateway, let me check and let you know. I can't remember the throughput because there is a
Okay.
pricing calculation. So based on that, the throughput has been calculating. So please check, let me check.
Okay.
Okay. And something which is based on region also, region and subscription. So let me check, I'll let you know.
Yeah, because how I can identify the throughput? Can you help us to identify?
Yeah, I will show. Let me check the website and I will show it in the screen itself. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
sure. So yeah, my subscription is Azure Pass Resource Group. Again, I'm choosing ISP. Okay. Application gateway name, prod app gateway one, like this. Location. Again, you have to choose East US 2. Okay. Tier standard version 2, version 1. Okay. This is the normal load balancer, means a normal application gateway load balancer. And WF means there you can find uh, firewall enable. Okay. Application gateway firewall enable. So these two, if you want to configure this one, like you want to configure security using firewall, application firewall, okay, you can enable this one also. So if you choose this one, then you have to configure the firewall rules. That firewall explicitly used for this load balancer. So anyway, I'll just go with the standard version 2. Yeah. Enable auto scaling. Okay, audience, this application gateway behind, it is creating a virtual machine. So if you want to make it scalable, like based on the workload, automatically your application gateway uh, scalability is increasing. If you need this one, okay, then you have to go with the scalable auto scale option. So auto scale, what will do? Now let's say your application gateway by default it is using 2 virtual machine to deploy, right? Now if your workload is getting higher, maybe to support your workload it needs 4 virtual machine. So how these 2 virtual machine automatically happen? Not possible, right? If you do not enable the auto scaling. So you have to create the auto scaling. So whenever you do the auto scaling, you don't have to think about the application gateway credibility. It is always there to receive your query, because in behind whatever VM is there to provide this service, okay, this VM will automatically scale out or scale in based on the requirement. So the auto scaling option, you have to do it. That is very good practice for the on premises. Sorry, not for the on premises, I would say for the production environment. So scale out unit, you can say minimum scale out unit is let's say 2 VM always there, and maximum scale out, let's say 5. So maximum 5 machines always present behind my application gateway. Availability zone, you can make it zone available for high availability perspective. Yes, cost will be associated obviously. Okay. HTTP 2 best, in HTTP 2 best is actually what would I say, that it is using ingress controller. What is ingress controller, that tomorrow we will discuss. Okay. And let it be HTTP disable. Ingress controller, tomorrow we will discuss with Kubernetes and container instance. We have a module for container instance and Kubernetes. So ingress controller we will discuss tomorrow. Configure virtual network, and yeah, let it me associate the virtual network. This is my subnet. Subnet cannot have root table for v2. Okay, I have a routing table with this subnet, but not for the what I do. Should I create another routing table? Okay, wait for a while. Let me create another subnet. I have subnet is 64. Okay. App gateway subnet, app gateway subnet, and address range, that could be 10 10.10.192.0/18. Okay. So now go to the application gateway option. Choose your updated subnet is not visible there. Let me refresh my screen and then I can add it. Oh God, why it is taking so long? ISP-RG. Location is East US. Lots of things, huh? Not been it. Now it is there. Let me recall my all instances. And provide the name, prod app gateway 1. Go to front end. Now choose your front end. Front end IP address, public, private, or both. You can use for both activity. Like this particular application gateway can be used for internal environment or can be used for only external environment. So choice is yours. So for easy understanding, we will go with the public one. Otherwise, we can use both. Okay, or private or both. So if you think that your application gateway always serve the service to the external user, this application gateway should not be used for internal activity, then you can choose only public. But if you want to use for both of the area, publicly and internally, choose both. Or if you want to use only for internal environment, choose private. Okay. So now I'm going to use public one, and I will create the IP address for the public app gateway PIP. So you can see SKU standard assignment is static. Done. Go to the backend pool. Mm, One step ahead. Now add a backend pool here. You can add the backend pool right now or later. Choice is yours. So just let me create the backend pool with a name like app gateway back pool 1. Add backend pool without targets. If I say yes, then blank backend pool will be added. Later we can add it. Okay. But if you say no, then you have to mention the target type. You can set the IP address. You can or FQDN you can mention. You can mention the virtual machine name. Okay, virtual machine scale set. App service you can mention. So if you have any app service configured, you can mention that one also. Or else you can mention the IP address of the uh, virtual machine or load balancer, anything. So what's your load balancer IP address? Okay, this is a public. I need a private IP address since it is a backend pool. Oh, I don't have any private IP address for my backend pool. If I have an internal load balancer, I can mention the internal load balancer IP address. But anyway, I can use virtual machine. Okay. Just to add the backend pool, how to add it? Go to configuration. Now you have a front end already pick up. Routing rules not yet. Backend pool you have set. So now you have to define the routing rules. Add routing rules. That is the important thing, because everything the backend pool will be chosen based on the rules you are defining here. So there is a rule name that we will provide. You have to create the listener front-end IP address already mentioned that I will just choose. Protocol, what protocol I want to use for my rules as a front end. Port number, additional settings for the listener, basic or multi-site. If you have a multiple site, you have to choose the listener in that way. error page URL. If you want to throw some error page, so like you are not able to access one particular website, okay, and your client will get a message, okay, then you can create your own customized error page. You can upload the HTML page here, okay. So these are the things you can do. Also, we can go for the backend targets, how it will be chosen, that we have to define here. So one by one, let's create it. Routing rule 1, listener name, uh, listener 1, just front end IP address, public, port number, front end port number HTTP or HTTPS, whatever. You can choose HTTP also. Okay. So in that case, you have to upload the certificate, or you can create your own certificate if you have in Key Vault. Okay. So these are the things you can do. That is a SSL offloading concept, you can say. But right now I don't have any certificate. So what I can do, I just click on HTTP. Port number is 80. Listener type basic. There is a only one site. I don't have any multi-site. Otherwise, I can go for it. After doing it, I go to the backend target. Target type backend pool or redirection. If you want to redirect to the different website, okay, permanent or something else, temporary, found, see others. So you can redirect your traffic, like your user is requesting contoso.com and it is redirecting to the google.com, like that. Okay. So listener or external site, you can choose the external site, target URL like this. So let me choose the backend pool. I have the backend pool already created. HTTP settings, you have to create the HTTP settings. Yeah. In the HTTP settings, settings name, backend pool will be configured with HTTPS or HTTP that you have to mention. If you need a affinity is something related with the persistency. If you need a cookies based affinity, you can enable it. Connection draining, what is this? Connection draining means if your backend pool is get disconnected or disassociated from the application gateway due to any reason, first your backend pool execute all the existing requests, then it will be disassociated from the application gateway. This is called connection draining. Okay, request timeout before it is declare the backend pool down. There is a 20 seconds delay. Override backend path. If you have any kind of override rules, you can mention it. Override with the new host names. So these are the things you can mention. Host name we didn't see, that is there in the virtual machine. Okay, so what I can do, go back to that. Discard the changes and go back to the routing table, routing rules. Hmm. App gateway. Settings one. Path-based URL, you can configure path-based URL, or as I told you that you can redirect whatever your choice is, you can do so. If it is path-based URL, then you have to mention the path. Add multi-target to create path-based URL. If you click this one, then you have to choose your path. That okay, if you say slash image, then it will go to the particular machine. If you say slash index, it will go to the file server. So the target you have chosen here, if you look into this, the target you have chosen here, okay, backend pool, that will be call or that will be accessed when you choose the path-based URL. So if you say --image, then this particular virtual machine will be accessible. If you say something else, then different virtual machine will be accessible, right? By this way it is happening. Otherwise, you just go ahead. Okay, I don't have multiple virtual machine in this virtual network, so I just go ahead. So one rules has been assigned here. So after that tag we have and the review create. So instead of going this tag and other stuff, let me, okay, I need to go to the tag. I don't have any option. Review create. So audience, when it is deploying, shall we get a small break? What do you think?
Yes, sure.
Okay, what is others' opinion? Audience, shall we go for a break?
Yes, Sujit, until it creates, right, we can go for them.
Okay. Okay, audience. So everyone is agree with my words. So let's go for a 15 minutes break. Relax yourself, then come back and rest of the things we will discuss, and then you can start your lab. Okay. I hope everyone is here with the session. And now we have to start our discussion regarding the application gateway. So application gateway has provisioned successfully. Okay. Now I can go to the resource. Okay, this is resource group. Anyway. This is app gateway. This is app gateway or app gateway PIP. This is a public IP. Broad application gateway 1. More backend pool is unhealthy. It will result in okay. So see, the backend pool is unhealthy. It is showing that it will result in 502 error because it is checking the backend pool with a specific service which is not responding properly. That's why the error is showing here. Okay. So please check the backend health and resolve the issue. I can check the backend health. Okay, no problem. So this is the public IP of the backend pool. Sorry, the web application gateway. So what we can do is just copy this one and we can call it. So if any service, any web application service or any IES service, like in my virtual machine itself have some application running, I can call it by using this public IP. Okay. Will not get any answer because only virtual machine I have added. See, the 502 bad gateways, Microsoft Azure Application Gateway v2. So 502 error is occurring due to my backend pool, right? So any service running in my virtual machine, that service I can directly call from call by using this public IP address. Got it? Any kind of redirection if I want to use, like call this public IP, automatically Google will open. This kind of things also you can configure using the redirection. But for that you have to create another rules. Web application application gateway rules you have to configure separately. So there is a rule rewrite option you have. You can check the rewrites, application rewrites or header rewrites you can say. So name with the rewrites option will be associated with these rules. Okay. If you go to the rewrite configuration, rewrite name in add the conditions. Okay. So these are the things you can configure here. Now let me go to the health probe area. There is a health probe and let me check why my backend pool is not healthy. What kind of health probe has been mentioned here? There it is, health probe. Yeah. There is no health probe setup. Let me check. So path, you can find out the path of the particular file that you need to check during the health probe. Okay. Host is contoso.com or something else. You can mention pick up host name from the backend HTTPS settings. Okay. You can check it. So in my HTTPS settings, there is no backend host name. So option has removed from my console. Path you can mention. You can say the interval, timeout, and all those things. Unhealthy threshold. So once you configure properly this particular health probe, that the option which was showing unhealthy, my backend pool is unhealthy, that will be go removed. Okay. So these are the things we can configure with the application gateway. So application gateway, the real-time things you will get once you have the application service. That is the better solution. If you have any app service, uh, that you can integrate with your application gateway and you can find the answer. Okay. So tomorrow we will discuss about the app service, web app service. So tomorrow probably I can create the web app service and I will attach that web app service with the application gateway or traffic manager. Traffic manager concept we are going to discuss very soon. So tomorrow I can add my web application with this application gateway service, and we can see the effectiveness. We can see the use case of the application gateway because I don't have anything. Only I have a virtual machine, but virtual machine there is nothing. There is no application running inside the virtual machine. So you cannot get the output. If I just call the virtual machine, still you will not get any output from it. There is no service running. So probably tomorrow I will create the web applications, and I will attach the web application with the application gateway. Then we can see the uh, use case. We can see the effect of web application. Okay. So now we are moving towards the traffic manager. Traffic manager is something which is called global server load balancer. Now in global server load balancer, it is actually not a load balancer. Better to say, based on the user area, user location, it will redirecting the traffic to the appropriate target. What does it mean? I mean to say, let me go to the paint. Let's say you have Azure websites or Azure hosting, you can say. Okay. You have two on-premises sites. That is in India, and another one is Dubai, and this is in Azure. Since Azure is provide the global reach solution, but just for sake of understanding, we can take this. And I have a traffic manager. So I can attach this traffic manager with all of the sites of your company. So these sites are all available and active. There is no problem with the sites, just for understanding. Now, let's say your user is sitting here. User is sitting, let's say, in and Riyadh. So based on the user location, the request of the user will be redirecting to the nearest location. That is the basic funda. But yes, the redirection means choosing the nearest location depends on the routing method. So user will be redirecting to the nearest location of the user. So if the user is sitting in Riyadh, so nearest location would be Dubai. So user can redirect to the Dubai, right? But how this redirection process is happening? First of all, the traffic manager you are creating, the traffic manager should have a name. Public IP is there. Obviously, public IP is there. But along with the public IP, there is a name. And that name should be public DNS resolvable name, like tcs.com. So behind the tcs.com, there is a public IP, which is a actual IP address of the traffic manager. And all your sites like India, Dubai, all your data center and the Azure sites also have their own public IP address that could be resolvable from the location of from the public DNS. So what you are doing, let's say you are saying that, okay, www.tcs.com. So the request first hitting, that is going to the traffic manager. This is your traffic manager, TM. Traffic manager understand your request and then goes to the routing method. Whatever the routing method, okay, let's say routing method is nearest location or geographic location. So based on the user location, traffic manager understand the Dubai is the nearest one. So what traffic manager will do? Traffic manager will send the response. What response it is sending? It is sending the response, the IP address of the Dubai. Now this IP address is a public IP address. Public IP address of Dubai. So again, using this public IP address, or not public IP address, better to say the DNS name, public DNS name, or the DNS name which is resolvable from the public DNS. That particular name will be redirecting, will be forwarding to the client. DNS name of Dubai. So this DNS name will reach to the client browser. After getting the DNS name of the Dubai region, again the client will communicate with the public DNS server. This is the public DNS server. So from the public DNS server, the user can resolve the DNS name and get the actual IP address of the Dubai. Obviously, it is a public IP. So now client can directly communicate with the Dubai and can get the web page of www.tcs.com. So what traffic manager does? Traffic manager simply take the request, find out the nearest location of the user, and forward the DNS resolvable name to the client browser of the nearest site. So client browser now directly communicate with the nearest site and get the query resolved. Okay. So this is the working funda of the traffic manager. So traffic manager is not a replacement of DNS server. It is not actually a load balancer, but yes, based on different type of routing rules, we can somehow we can configure the load balancing situation. Like there is the options called performance. So there is latency has been chosen, not only the nearest location of the user, but it is chosen the latency. If Dubai latency is higher, still it is the nearest of Riyadh, but it can goes back, it can redirect to India also. So that is called performance. So there is some rules that we need to define there, and based on the routing methods or routing rules, the nearest location will be chosen, and client can directly communicate with the location. So once client is communicate with the location, now onwards client is not going to the traffic manager. There is the token limitations, token lifeline. After time expired or that particular time, the token will be invalid. So again, when after 2 or 3 days, when user is sending same request, again it will directly goes to the traffic manager. Okay. Otherwise, it will directly hit to the location. So this is the working principle of the traffic manager. You can say the traffic manager is a lower global server load balancer. Okay. Traffic manager also help checking the backend pool health. The health probe option is also available with the traffic manager that you can configure. Got it. So how does it configure? You can say traffic manager. Traffic manager profile. Create the traffic manager profile. Provide the name of the traffic manager like prod tm, and full name is prod tm.trafficmanager.net. Okay. Routing method, there is a list of routing method, performance, weightage, priority. You can set the priority that if you say that Azure infrastructure is getting higher priority, all requests first hitting to the Azure. If it is busy for anything, then second priority will be chosen. Geographic means the location, nearest location. Multi-value, you can set different type of information to find out the location. Or you can set the subnet also. Subnet, higher subnet will get higher performance, higher preference like this way. So there is a different routing method you have. Performance is checking the latency between the client and the traffic manager and traffic manager to the target. Okay, so the both latency will be checking. Lower latency will take higher preference. So anyway, let me go with the default one. Subscription, resource group, this one. Okay, and create. So traffic manager profile creation is not so big task. But after creating the traffic manager profile, we can add the backend pool and all other things. Wait for a while. So backend pool of the traffic manager, that could be web service, web app service, that could be load balancer, that could be a direct IP address of a virtual machine. Depends. Choice is yours. So deployment is done. Go to resource. There is there is an option called endpoints. Endpoints is your backend pool actually. There is no endpoints right now. I can add the endpoints. So Azure endpoints, external endpoints, your uh, on-premises, nested endpoints if you have any Azure based, but maybe in a different subscription you can say. Okay, so that is under the nested endpoints. So go to the Azure endpoint. I have only Azure endpoint. Choose the target type, application service, application app service slot, app service slot tomorrow we will discuss, or any public IP address. That IP address belongs to a virtual machine, can be it is a public load balancer IP address or application gateway IP address, anything. Any public IP you have to choose. But that public IP should have a DNS name available. Otherwise, you cannot add it. Okay. So I don't have any app service or app slot. So go with the public IP address. So choose the public IP. When you click on it, I have many public IP address, right? So let me see, do I have any public IP where DNS name is there or not? See, there is many public IP address available, but there is no public IP I can choose because no one have the proper DNS name. So how do I add the DNS name? Just remove this one. Uh, go to public IP directly. So there is a VPN gateway public IP. I can go to the load balancer public IP. Okay. And I will put the DNS name for this public IP. So DNS name, you can add it. I think from the properties. Wait for a while. Let me check. There is a public IP. DNS name is not there. Let me change to the configuration. Yes. So here I can mention the DNS level name. Let's say any name I can mention, but just for understanding. DNS name is CloudSol. What happened? Not available by different level. Okay, CloudSol. CloudSol.eastus.cloudapp.azure.com. Okay, save it. Once it is saved, what you can do, go to your endpoint area, choose public IP again. Now you will see your load balancer IP address will be visible in the list. See, prod LB IP is visible in the list. Select this one and provide the name of your endpoint, TM endpoint 1. Okay, validation successful and endpoint is added. Now what you can do to check the traffic manager working activities or how it is working, let me open the overview page. This is my DNS name of my traffic manager. See, prod-tm dot traffic manager dot net. So copy this one. Okay, go to, since my load balancer is connected with this connected with the virtual machines, and virtual machine having no web service or no page is there. So to check my load balancer is reachable or not from the traffic manager, that I need to check. So to this I can use NSLOOKUP. NSLOOKUP, paste it. So remove HTTP, this one, and enter. So the address, say 552.177.92 something. This one is the public IP of my load balancer. See, remember using load balancer, I was calling the virtual machine. So 52.177.92.22, that is the public IP of the load balancer. So you are getting response since you are calling the traffic manager, but you are getting response from my load balancer. But actually you are getting response from my virtual machine that have added behind the load balancer. Okay, so anything running behind my load balancer, any service, any web application service or something, okay, you can get access on it. Now, if you wish, you can create a alias record for your traffic manager.net. Okay, using a DNS zone, you can create a DNS zone and you can create an alias record for it. So choice is yours. Am I clear, audience?
Yeah.
So this is end of this module actually. So this is the traffic manager based on the different type of routing method, the destination end or the endpoints will be checking, and to the proper endpoint, your user will be redirecting. Okay. Traffic manager never bypass the DNS execution area. It is always go with the DNS execution. Name resolution is always there. Okay. Routing methods, we have a weightage routing method. Weighting routing method distribute the traffic based on the weightage value. Weightage value you are mentioning manually. Okay, lowest value is 1 actually. Geographic means location wise. Performance is checking the latency. Priority based on the priority means lower value of the priority getting higher preference. Okay. Routing is distribute for multi-value. Routing distribute traffic only to IP4 or IP version 6 endpoints. Subnet routing distribute traffic based on the source IP address range. So these are the things that you can mention here.